and welcome to Celtic World North America. We are part of a Celtic World YouTube channel, which highlights the worldwide Celtic support. And on this show, we bring a bit of the American view on things that are happening at Celtic. We're back live this week after taking off because I was on vacation last week. Sucked, bad week to miss the first week of the season, but we're back this week, and I think ready to bring some positivity for once. Flying start to the season, 2 wins out of 2 games. New big money striker bags a hat trick, and really easily could have had a couple other goals. And then today we signed the Egyptian winger Hassan, who we've been, linked with seemingly forever because things take a while to get done for Celtics. But that's about as negative as I can get tonight, I think. And it looks like maybe Bauer gets done tomorrow, hopefully before the deadline to sign guys for Europe. So I'm ready to log on to the Celtic Superstore and buy up the whole fucking place because my Celtic kits are all getting worn down, and I think it's finally time to get something new. But let me introduce everybody we got with us tonight. First things first, Chris. Chris, how you doing?
Hell. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 weeks since we were. We hadn't had a break.
Yeah,
since Christmas.
Yeah, that was the first time in a long time. So
it was kind of weird not doing the podcast on Wednesday night. Yeah. But
it's good to be back though.
I was sweating my ass off in Utah. It was like 110 degrees every day, and just couldn't even go outside pretty much during the day. But and then joining us tonight, James from the Huddle Breakdown podcast. James, how we doing?
This is a bait and switch, Sean. You didn't tell me anything about having to be positive. That's not something I'm able to do, but I'll do my best.
I was listening to you and Alan. I think it was this morning. I was listening to the one you guys did this week, and you guys were positive. Alan was like downright giddy in the beginning, so it was a nice change up. And then I know David is excited to finally be on a positive show because we always tend to be negative. But David, how you doing tonight?
I'm very good. As you said, I think the word of the day is definitely positivity, and it's good to be looking forward for a change. Definitely going to ride that a little bit and then enjoy it, and hopefully the magic carpet doesn't crash into something else. But I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna on the start to something good here. I really do. I'm excited about these new players coming in.
Yeah, same. I mean, just attacking wise, it's starting to look really exciting. I feel like, but I think we're still missing some pieces, but I feel a little more confident that the board is actually willing to put some. I mean, it's decent money that's spent so far on those 4 guys they brought in, and then so 3, and then 4 if Bauer comes in. But yeah. So I mean, I think there's a lot to be positive about, and then. Obviously, next week and the following week after European qualifiers, things can change because I think that's where things started getting really negative last year. Was after the Kairat tie, but we've set ourselves up a little better for it this year than we did last year. Let me jump on the comments first, and we got Danny from the Garage Boys. Danny, hail. Paul, hail. Good to have, a lot of our regular listeners in. I don't know if I remember Merzuno. That's a new one. Rajas, Chris is always in with us. So yeah, thanks for getting in the comments. So I think first things first, I would just get back into talking about the match because Chris and I haven't had a match to talk about in a while. We've been going all summer and just kind of riffing on nothing happening from the board, and being linked to a couple names and nothing getting done. So first thing first, let me stick up the lineup from this weekend. And I love I kind of like the new lineup card that they're sticking out there. It's a little bit different vibes, but Chris, I mean, this was a lineup the first 2 weeks, and it's seemingly pretty obvious what he was going to throw out there.
Yeah,
I don't think they really had many other choices, but I mean, what were your thoughts on the lineup? I guess those first 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I mean the lineup is exactly what I thought it would be. I know there was a whole lot of rotation, in the preseason matches, but I mean that's the starting 11 until one of those guys gets picked up for 30 million or whatever. But yeah, no, that's the strongest team, and I think last the Killy match, you really kind of got to see those guys gelling together better. I mean the passing seemed better, but I mean that's obviously your best 11 right there.
Yeah, I'd say. James, how about you? I mean, seemingly it's the strongest lineup that he could throw out there based on what was in the building at the time. But like, do you think this team was strong enough to at least get us off to a good start before bring in those more bodies, before Europe?
Yeah, domestically, I think, given the lineup of the fixtures, I think depth is the concern for me at this point, and the midfield continues to be my concern. The composition of the midfield against certain kinds of opponents, but yeah, that looks a lot more normal compared to what we went through last season, where there was just a lot of crazy uncompetitive. When I say uncompetitive relative to what I think of Celtic, the level of teams that we've had in recent history. And that's, I was saying on our show earlier in the week, it's like you can debate like which front three is better between Kuhn, Maeda, and Kyogo versus, Hu, Duran, and Hassan, let's say, or, whatever. But it's a conversation. At no point last season was there a conversation that the starting front three was like even in the neighborhood of that front three. So I think we're getting back to, that kind of level, at least in the attacking areas. So that's excellent news.
Yeah. David, like, I mean, I know one of the concerns is like, I thought Duran played well in that on the wing, probably pretty much both weeks, both first two games, but talk of switching off to like a 4-4-2 to have two up top and to play Duran and Who up top. I don't know. Like, do you think that's something Martin would consider doing, or 3-5-2, something like that?
I mean, I'm sure he's thought about it, but like that just isn't the way that Celtic have been playing since Ange, Rodgers. They've played 4-3-3. You play with the high attacking wingers. You want to push on the attack from the front. I don't see them changing the philosophy of the way that they've been necessarily doing training for overall these years as well. I know we've just recently changed our trainers and stuff, but I don't see them switching to a 4-4-2. And to be honest, when you look at the big clubs across Europe, no one's really playing that. Like, it's a 4-3-3 world now. You know what I mean? Like it is, where you attack from the front. You want these fast wingers, like what Maeda used to be brilliant at doing. I don't see them going 4-4-2. I know Martin O'Neill's mentioned even he sees Duran playing behind the centre forward. I mean, for me, he could. But then, you're not going to take Nygren out if Nygren's scoring any goals every single week. So do you find a way to play the two of them behind the centre forward? Maybe you do by bringing in a more defensive midfielder than Callum McGregor, like the big Lithuanian guy. If we brought him in, for example, like he's a defensive midfielder. He's not he's not necessarily a box to box guy, but he will play that role. And to be honest, for me, that's a role that we've missed for years, especially in Europe, is actually playing with a proper defensive midfielder who'll just sit there and effectively sit in front of your two centre backs. And again, you look at all the bigger teams like Man City, you've got Rodri, like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's got a defensive midfielder and that's their role. We used to have Neil Lennon. You know what I mean? Like, that was his role. He was never going to be box to box. He was a defensive midfielder. He would sit there and he did a job for Martin O'Neill brilliantly. I would be over the moon if we signed a player like that as well, because I feel as though it could make us more adaptable, especially in Europe and stuff like that. And we maybe could play Duran and Nygren behind the centre forward.
Yeah, I don't see them changing up much formation, as much as Martin kind of alluded to some changes in the way they play coming into the season. But yeah, like I feel like
I think they can tweak it. So
Yeah.
if you remember Scott Sinclair, he was more of an inverted winger, like, you know, running the channels, and Tierney would overlap. So I suspect that might be more what they do. And you saw that a little bit against Kilmarnock. A lot of that had to do with the way Kilmarnock set up and man-to-man, just, you know, running around like headless chicken. So Duran was kind of free to go all over the place. And I think that's his strength when I looked at him when we signed him. He's not a guy that's going to stand on the touchline and give you width. So, yeah, I suspect, depending on what happens at the right back position, he'll be inside a lot more dynamically, kind of like what Sinclair was on the left. But that's where AJ is so important. We don't know what's going to happen with him, obviously.
Yeah, that's another spot that you'd have to be worried about. Outside, you were talking about the midfield, James, but yeah, that right back spot is particularly, like, if AJ leaves, then I'm not, you know, Donovan is fine. I think Ralston's fine as a backup, third right back.
But do you really, if they sold Johnston, do you really think that the board would buy another right back when they have Ralston and Donovan? I'm not convinced they will. I think that might be somewhere that well, I mean, that would obviously piss everybody off. So they need to have something. They need to have something for people to get mad at. But for me, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't replace him, because they think Donovan is an up and cut, and he is. He's definitely got potential. Do you start him? And I'm fine with Ralston as a reserve as well. Like, I'm totally fine with him being on the bench. I don't want him to be our first choice, but I think as a replacement, I think he's a brilliant replacement to have. But I don't see them. I don't see them bringing in another right back if they sell Johnson on the final day, because you know it'll probably happen. So,
well, the way the Celtic board works is they don't seemingly start to make moves to replace people until that person's out the door, and then it will take another couple months for that to happen. So maybe in January they would replace AJ. But yeah, so I mean, in terms of the start, and like, it's great to have that early goal just sets the tone. And me and you, David, we were watching at the Plow together, and like we were talking about the Arnie Engels cross, maybe not intended as it, but it worked out perfectly. So
I think, as we said in golf, that's known as a shank.
But Chris, what was your reaction to the opener?
I mean, brilliant. I mean, like, it's been a minute since we started that way, and like, just early on after that goal went in, you knew that, like, we were in to watch them play. And I mean, that first 10, 15 minutes, the passing was sharp. People were moving in the right spots. You get the goal. I mean, it just, like, we were flying from the start. And I mean, it's been a minute since I've been at halftime and been like, okay, I can relax a little. Like, this is fun. Right, like it's not stressful. I'm not like sitting there going, you know, biting fingernails and stuff. So it's a brilliant start not to the league campaign for sure, but just to be able to sit there and watch them play with intensity, with purpose, and making the right moves. Like Casper Ho, like in those first few minutes, man, he was making runs, and like you could see the Killy defenders going, "This is going to be a problem."
Yeah.
And like everybody kind of just, this is going to be a problem. And I don't know, man. Like I was just from the jump, like, you get a hat trick in the first half. Like, what are you playing, FIFA? Like this is
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. So I mean, I just can't say enough good things about watching that first half and being like, this is a great, motivating factor for going into Champions League qualifiers and the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, like, after the goal, it was hectic the way the game started, just very open back and forth. But I mean, Killy had some chances in those first 10, 15 minutes themselves. Like Trusty had the ones, I forget who took the shot from Killy, but I mean, Trusty saved it off the line basically. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. Sinisalo came way out, which I thought was odd move on that one, but trying to cut down the shot. But Trusty saved it there, and Kilty for Killy on the wing had a pretty good opportunity. But then after that, I feel like we kind of settled, the defense kind of settled down, and we took a little more control of the game. But then I guess James, I mean, who scores like back to back right around in the 32nd, something like that, 35th minute. And again, the first goal on the cutback from Nygren, him and Nygren and Ho seem to have a pretty good connection out there. Like, I mean, how do you see?
They seem like they're good friends as well in the interviews and stuff. I think that'll bring more out of Nygren as well.
Yeah. But how did you see those two goals, David? I mean, James, I'm sorry.
Terrific. I mean, again, it's just so refreshing to have really high quality, good goals to occur with routine now. It looks like it's going to happen with Who and some of the other attacking players. I mean, we had a little bit of that very late in the season when I don't know, might have went on PEDs or something, or got possessed by some spirit that turned him into a world-class technical striker for 6 weeks, thank God. But yeah, it's just they're brilliant. All the goals. I mean, obviously even the ridiculous Stryjek pass to Nygren, like that was just a great top shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just a quality finish, even though it was a quote unquote easy one. So yeah, it was just thrilling to watch so many high quality goals. It's funny when you sign good players how that works.
What was the XG for Who on?
Oh well, yeah, they're all very high, and again, it all depends on the vendor. But yeah, this was, depending on the model, one of the highest XG games since that data was started to collect back in, I think 14, 15 or 15, 16, depending on the vendor, or the first couple of seasons. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's right up there. It was the highest in the history of Y Scout, for example.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, there were so many good chances like that they even didn't take, but like the ones that they did, like, I mean, like both of Who's header goals were made them look very easy, but it's not easy to finish those. And as we've seen over the years, we haven't had that striker who like finishes goals like that around with his head. Like we've had Kyogo and Dyson who are good at getting kind of in front of a defender, getting a foot on the ball, something like that. Like, whereas like Who's peeling off the defender and getting that back post header. Like I don't know. That was great to see. Like, I feel like just a proper striker. Like I forget who was Mizuno put up 60 goals. I think I had put like over under 35 goals. I think I put on social media over the weekend.
Across all competitions?
Yeah, across all.
Yeah,
I think I can see him getting more than that. Maybe not a lot more, but and all depending on injuries and stuff like that too. But
yeah, I think 30, 35 is a pretty good.
yeah, so 60.
Pretty good
I mean,
range.
60 that'd be great. But take that. But yeah, so like me and like David, me and David were watching at the Plow, so it was, I mean, good vibes at the Plow because, like Chris said, we haven't had one of those games in a while where it's comfortable. Like almost every game last season was just edge of your seat shit waiting.
Agonizing is the word
Yeah.
I used.
Frustrating.
Yeah, so I mean, David, what was your thoughts on like first half just being in control, like with the 3-goal lead, like how you feel? Where does this take us this season?
I mean, yeah, you're right. It was a totally surreal feeling. It was like I don't even smoke, and I felt like started smoking and just stopped having a cigarette or something like that, you know. And like just the relief was just like we knew they weren't going to come back, and obviously at the end of last season we got over the line every time, but it was just it kind of took you back to years ago where you knew that they were going to score again, like and you were looking forward to every attack, and like I genuinely believe that if Who stays fit and Celtic provide him chances, like he could score 3 every game. Like he really could. I mean, he's not going to score that many, but like he really could score that many if you give him. I think if you give him 2 chances, he takes one of them. Like majority of the time. I think he is that good. I think he's a proper penalty box striker, which we haven't had for. I didn't even. In fact, I didn't even remember the last time we had a proper penalty box striker. Like
Dembele, I think.
Yeah.
Dembele. I think that's a fair shout. Yeah, absolutely. But like, yeah, Who is he's just a unit as well. Like he just bullied that whole Kilmarnock defense that game as well. Like anytime the ball, I know. I hope they've learned a lesson from the goats in a Salo kicking the ball out to him. But yeah, it worked once, great. You don't need to do it like 20 times. Do you know what I mean? But the guy's a unit. Like he just is. He's a powerful striker, which is exactly what we've needed. And as well, see, like listen to his interviews and stuff. You know that he is a good guy to have in your dressing room. And he again, positivity. He's all about positivity. And see if the fans keep giving him all of that, he'll give it right back by scoring goals. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, I agree. And I like to have a personality like his in the side. I think it's almost like Kyogo, but more extreme. The more extreme Kyogo. Like Kyogo had a good, but it was a quiet kind of like where he grabbed the fans. I mean, Who is just walked in the door and grabbed the fans immediately. Like and seemingly the rest of the side, like you saw the one video you saw of, and we'll talk about signing Hassan later, but like Hassan probably doing all his media work today, and it's Who coming over to give him a hug, like in the video, and that, like I think he's just become the face of the club, like in 2 games, which is just crazy. Like it's great to see, but so like a 3-0 at halftime, and then like James, you mentioned the just handing it to Nygren to score the 4th goal, and he did that in the first half too. Was it Stryjek? Yeah. And he got away with it on that one, but I mean, I don't even know what the hell he was like. There's just no thought behind it, but it just goes to probably Killy has no business playing out from the back, and him particularly. And
I think it's that second part that's the problem. I mean, we're seeing teams like Saint Mirren now, Saint Johnston, Motherwell, obviously last season, and they're continuing. I know for people that haven't, I watch almost all of the games in the league. Dodgy Asian betting sites are your fan, your friend if you want streams to watch. Motherwell Falkirk on a nice Saturday afternoon. So Motherwell signed this young, I think he's a Man United loanee, to play keeper for them. And he's, whipping the ball around like Schmeichel did his first season with us. He's really good with his feet. So, teams of that level can get keepers that can do something other than play like they have cinder block for feet. So, yeah, to play out from the back the way they tried with Stryjek is just, crazy. So, and in fairness to him, he looks like he's improving. I mean, he did have a few really nice passes that he made. It's just, I mean, the one he took out our entire front line and midfield. The one pass when I went back and analyzed the game. I mean, it was, very risky pass, but he got it through. He threaded the needle. But yeah, I think the big risk coming out of a game like this, and I wrote this in my column this week for our site, is to have these kind of blowout games in August are not that unusual. It seems like it after last season. Like that's what I'm saying. We're kind of going back to our normality now, thankfully. It's extrapolating that depending on what the context of it was. It can be, even in the 10 in a row debacle season, we blew out somebody in August. You know what I mean? Right before everything was about to fall apart. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that the context matters, and you can't get away from how shambolic Kilmarnock were. It was like catastrophically stupid how they set up. And I felt so bad for that guy who was Stanger, the center back who was supposed to be man marking Casper's who for the whole game. They didn't even put their faster athletic center back on who. They put this poor guy who's been in the lower leagues of Scotland his entire career up till now. And he just got absolutely smoked. I mean, embarrassed. And he was trying, he looked like a guy who was really trying hard, but man, just totally overmatched. And that was, Neil McCann, God love him, not really, but he made it really easy for us because he was very naive in how he set up. So not everyone's going to set up that way. That's the moral of the story. So a lot of stuff, Alan and I would say this all the time. Every time Rayo Hatate would have a great game, it'd be like, yeah, it's because he's got wide open spaces and no one's even near him defensively. Right? Wait till the next game when someone's within 3 yards of him and it's going to change again. And, people would always say, oh, on his day. Well, when there's no one near you, it's easier to pass. And just a ton of the time in that game, there was no one near our players. Negrin had like the entire pitch. Yeah. It was crazy how much space there was. And, some of that credit goes to our coaching staff who made some tweaks and made it very difficult, like having the guys move around a lot more. But yeah, for Kilmarnock to play that way, it was, laughable. Delightfully so, but still.
Yeah, it was enjoyable to watch for me. I know.
Yeah, we're not going to get that from Dundee United.
Neil McCann's face was just enjoyable.
Yeah, we Declan was singing the "Cheer Up Neil McCann" song at the plow. I heard the crowd was singing it too, but I didn't hear it actually during the game. But I heard people posting that online. But yeah, so the second half, McCallum got a goal out like immediately after he came on. Nice goal, like probably could have got a penalty. Like he was getting dragged back, and good finish, like for him, particularly in the box. I mean, he's not the biggest guy to be able to kind of wrap his foot around that ball and kind of bring it back past the keeper. So, and we gave up a goal, which whatever, it would have been nice to keep the clean sheet, but all in all, like we said, 5-1 and a comfortable win. I think I saw on one of the podcasts I watched this week, like the first time we scored 5 goals in regular time since like a year or something like that. We had the 6 against St. Mirren in the Scottish Cup, but that was like 4 goals in.
Yeah, I think it was when we steamrolled Aberdeen before we lost to them in the Cup. So it was like May.
Mhm.
of the prior season, I think was the last time. And I'm going off somebody else that said that, by the way. I don't
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't know if I
me
remembered who
too.
said that, but yeah, I do remember them saying that game.
But yeah, I'm convinced we would have probably won that game 2-1 last season, even with the way that McCann trotted them out. But yeah, so I mean, I put up that performance. The only I'm just trying to be 100% positive tonight, but I would like to, and this is me at the same time where I'm saying I'm not comfortable with Donovan, so I'm being a bit of a hypocrite. I'm not comfortable with Donovan as our starting right back, but at the same time, I think it would have been a great, and I think we should do this more often, is to get those, like, one young guy on the bench, one of our academy guys, whether it's, I mean, O'Neill talked up the kid Hatton a lot during the friendlies this summer. And I just have a feeling we're never going to see any of those guys. And then it's going to be out the door because they're just not getting opportunities. So, yeah, I am a hypocrite because I'm saying Donovan shouldn't play. But but I don't know. What are your thoughts? Chris, like keeping a young guy on the bench, particularly in a game like that, you can throw him on for, 20 minutes at the end and give him some time.
Yeah, no,
Show us what he can do a little bit.
I'm a big fan of that. I mean, how many people have gone to the academy and have come out on the other side, and you're like, oh, KT, perfect example. I mean, so yeah, I'm with you with keeping, some academy players, on the bench in the squad. If they've earned their spot, they've earned their spot. I mean, I'm not opposed to that at all. And something y'all were talking about earlier made me remember one of my notes that I took on Casper Ho there is who the one thing that I saw out of him that we haven't had. I know we were talking about a pure kind of penalty box striker. Is somebody that holds the ball up. If you go back and watch that, he holds the ball up better than Adam Ida, better than any Yakimakis, whoever. And it was something that if there's a long ball that's going over the top and he's able to get it, and he can then pick out Hassan or whoever else is running down those channels. That's such a weapon that we haven't had in such a long time. Is somebody that holds that ball up and waits for anybody else that's coming. I remember there in the second half that he didn't take a chance and wanted to give somebody else an opportunity to score. I forget who it was, but he held the ball up beautifully. And I mean, it was a shot that went wide or whatever, but it was just amazing to me that that's something that I'm always kind of looking for, is somebody that's up top that's going to hold the ball up, kind of like Dembele. That's James. You made the perfect reference to who that penalty box striker is that we've been missing, and it's Moussa Dembele, and I'm just thrilled with somebody else that can do that. I know we were talking about right backs, but whatever.
We jump around all over the place.
Yeah,
I know. But yeah, I know, like, because James, you did an analysis on him, and that didn't seemingly wasn't his game, like the hold up play, right? Was that?
Yeah. So again, I worry about extrapolating on this one. So again, I think that had a lot to do with what Killy was doing, because
true,
they were man to man, and Stanger was marking him, and understandably, and again, I give credit to Celtic for this. I think they made an adjustment to have who go deeper. I mean, he was basically, where our midfielders usually are, our eights. That's how close he was getting to our center backs, and Stanger was not following him. So you had 15, 20 yards of space in between Stanger, who was back towards the halfway line, and who's basically by himself. So
Right.
there was, so that's like that brilliant pass he played to, I think it was Trusty that played a great line splitting pass to who then turned and did that outside of the right foot curler out to
That's
Duran.
it.
Like
Yeah,
that's, that's like Dembele type stuff.
yeah.
It's just, I don't think when he has somebody who's actually going to guard him physically, he's not the quickest guy. He's not the strongest guy. A lot of times I think against higher level competition in particular, I think he struggles in that phase. Kind of like Shvankara did, who was also a pretty gifted athletic guy, but he wasn't the best rough and tumbler. So I suspect that's more, and honestly, I don't want to see him that deep that much because he's not the quickest. So he's not, again, that takes him away from where he's most effective. We can have other players playing those balls over the top if we fix our midfield. I don't want who dropping that deep to be the playmaker is kind of what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, he given the time and the space, he's an incredibly intelligent, gifted player. It's just I doubt he's going to get that kind of time and space regularly. Even in the Scottish League now. Again, the Scottish League has changed so much in the last 2 seasons. Last season being like the first time that it was majorly different, and this season it's going up another level as far as teams that are pressing, counter pressing, setting up in a more, I'll call it modern. It's all cyclical, but more like most teams. It's not park the bus and shell long balls. It's very different than that. In the league now. Yeah. So I don't think he's going to see that kind of setup, particularly after that debacle. Like anyone who's watching game tape is going to see that and go, holy fuck, we can't do that.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Even if I was dumb enough to think about it, I'm definitely not doing it now.
One guy we haven't mentioned tonight, and I'll throw it to you, David. Like, how good was Engels? Like, if that, like, it's almost like you wish we sold him last week and you didn't see what he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was as good as I've seen him. And I thought he was really good at the end of last season. Like, he was phenomenal on Sunday. So I'll be sad to see him go. Seemingly it's probably going to happen, especially if that Bauer kid comes in. But I mean, what do you think about Engels on Sunday?
Yeah, I thought that was his best performance for even since I didn't remember. It's probably one of his best performances he's ever actually had for Celtic. But I mean, he's such a young guy as well, and I think a lot of people forget that. They saw the price tag that was on him, and they were like, "Oh, this guy's a ready-made. This guy must be ready-made footballer if we've spent all this money on him." No, he was a young player who was up and coming, who did very well for the team he was at in Germany. And Celtic did take a bit of a gamble on him. They saw he just got announced in the Belgian squad. I mean, it was a great gamble by Celtic. Like, you totally understand why they did it. Did he quite meet the levels of what we thought he was gonna? Probably not. If someone offers you 20 or 25 million for him, I mean, to be honest, I would definitely take that. Because I think there's players you could get that are better than him that you could spend half the money on. But you have to spend that money. That's the thing. Like, if the board sell him and then try and replace him with a £2 million player from Motherwell or something like that, like, that's not going to jive. You know what I mean? You need to replace him with another up-and-coming young player who you're probably going to make some money off of. So, yeah, to be honest, I actually think Engels has got a hard time from large groups of Celtic fans, which was unnecessary, to be honest. As I said, because he was such a young guy, but I think the price tag kind of haunted them a little bit at Celtic, and I don't think a lot of fans ever felt he reached the level that an £11 million player should reach. But just look at what other clubs are trying to offer for him. Like, there's definitely talent there. He's still only, 23, 24. He's still to come into his prime. I think he's going to do great. Probably in the Premier League eventually. I know he's going to go to West Ham. They'll get promoted, and he'll probably go on to be a superstar, a Belgian, play for Belgium and stuff as well. and hopefully he gets that spot from Baskin back, because that wee bastard isn't good enough. Like he's not. However, he was very good in the World Cup. I will give him that. But I love the fact that Rangers fans are thinking they're going to get 30, 40 million for Raskin, and nobody's bid for him because he's such a horrible little bugger of a human being. You know what I mean? Like he just is. Like no manager's going to want to sit there and go, I would love to have that guy in my dressing room. Like they're just not. He's a horrible little man. So good. I hope he stays at Rangers for the next year.
I mean, I will be sad to see Engels go, but yeah, I mean, you're right. 25 million is hard to pass up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I feel like you almost need to have that guy in the door before you sell him, because, and James, you mentioned it, like I think right now that the midfield is that question mark probably, and losing him is a big chunk of that midfield. He's the guy who's covering all the ground, and
he's our set ball player as well. We don't really have a proper set ball player, and we need to get that in. I think Bauer takes free kicks, corners. That's his thing. But I don't see him as a direct replacement for Engels, to be honest.
Nope.
I feel as though there's definitely going to be a little bit of changing in like who's going to take your set plays and stuff like that, which I'm fine with. And I said, I hope we do get a more defensive. I'd be fine with a more defensive midfielder coming in for Engels. I don't think he necessarily has to be replaced with a box to box guy. I think a defensive guy in there would be fine, especially for Europe and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I guess tomorrow maybe we'll see what happens with Bauer. Because when is the deadline? Isn't it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow, yeah.
For signing guys for
Champions League, yeah.
Yeah, so
I think there might be, is it 1 or 2 spots up until like 48 hours before? So
yeah.
I think there's some flexibility going into next week, but yeah.
Okay.
One piece of news I did find interesting on the Hassan deal, and again, you don't know if it's true or not, because how does anybody really know what his contract is unless it's been leaked? But everyone's saying, if Celtic qualify for the Champions League, then Real Oviedo are going to get an extra like 2.5 million or something. The guy's barely even played a friendly this season. Like Spain are like 2 or 3 weeks behind Scotland. Like, is Hassan really going to come in and is he really going to be like amazing his first game? Like he's had like 3 or 4 days training with his new team. I feel as though that he's going to get another 2.5 million if we qualify. I feel like that seems like I don't see a business model built on that. Like, because he might not even start either of the games. You know what I mean? Like, he might not be match fit. We really don't know. So
yeah, I think that's Celtic being crafty in negotiating that. And one would look at our Champions League qualifying history and suggest you may not.
And they're like,
yeah, it's like taking these suckers to the bank. They think they're getting 2 million. Wait till the end of August.
Michael Nicholson's like, suckers.
But God, I mean, we've had actually comments praising the board in tonight, which is like.
Well, so
I'm not
I'll comment.
David, you tell me. I don't know. In UK or Scotland specifically, is UPOD under promise over deliver? Is that the thing? Is that a concept that gets talked about, like with corporate douchebags and salespeople? No. Okay. Yeah. Over here in the US, it's a classic strategy, and okay. I think sentiment got so negative towards the board and what the summer would look like. Understandably, like it's reasonable that sentiment was that negative, but they were never going to not invest heavily in this squad. Again, just look at the history of this board. going back to when Ange came in, Ange's second season, like spending 20, 30, I think we spent almost 40 million the one window.
Yeah.
Not net spend. They're not that again, the model is to make money on player
Yep.
trading. But if we're going to be selling Engels for 30 and we sold Maeda for 10 and AJ goes for 15 or 20, I mean, they're going to spend 40 million probably.
Yeah.
If not more, they could spend upwards of 50 million. It wouldn't surprise me. So I think sentiment got so low that now that we're seeing the fruits of what was probably always likely to happen, everyone's like overjoyed and, under promise, over deliver. Set expect. That's what I tell with my wife and my sex life. I tell her this is going to last like 10 seconds and it's going to be awful. So when it lasts 15 seconds, I'm a hero.
All right. But Chris, wasn't I saying all summer we need to spend 50 million?
Yeah, but I mean, like
Assuming we sell Engels.
Realistically speaking, right? And I don't disagree with any of that, right? Like I know that there was always the reality that we've been sitting on money for a long time. The frustration with the board just doesn't go away because they buy players. For me,
It's way bigger than that.
Yeah, there's a lot more things that are going on that I'm not immediately running to the superstore to buy all 8 kits this year. But that's I'm glad these things are getting done. But Celtic being crafty, like you said, James, that's exactly what it is that they've been mama's the word for X, Y, and Z for a long time, and now that some moves that had already been kind of planned for, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, whatever, all of a sudden everybody's like, yeah, this is. We're winning the Champions League now. Like, whoa! Like we
got to get past Lask first.
Yeah, I know this is just as being as Celtic supporters as we are, is that we ride and fall with whatever happens in the club, right? And we're riding a good wave. We've got some good mojo. We've got players that are coming in. They're quality. We look good. The passing was sharp. Like we're doing all this stuff, and there's always a part of me that's like, well, if that was the fix, right? If it was just buying the right players, then meaningful change would mean that communication between all parties of why we were all disgruntled to begin with would start to come together and we could truly bury what hatchet we did have.
Yeah, we might be on our way to getting back to August of 2023 when Brendan Rodgers said we needed 3 quality upgrades to get to the level that we wanted to be in Champions League. And that's when we had Kyogo, Maeda, Matt O'Reilly, a healthy younger Carter Vickers,
Yeah.
So we're still way far behind where we need to get.
That's exactly my point. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's at least some visibility that it might happen now.
Right.
I thought we were being positive tonight.
Question.
Well, that is positive.
No,
Directionally.
I'm joking.
Hey, question. Do you swap losing the Champions League qualifier to get into a Europa League final?
Oh, as like a theoretical exchange, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't care what we do between now and the end of August. If we make it into the Champions League, it's not going to be pleasant. Like, we're not going to do enough.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun experience because again, I think the last 2 years that we were in the Champions League, we got really friendly draws.
Yeah.
Like one of the weakest draws each season.
Yeah.
And we're in pot 4 now, and it could be a nightmare draw. So yeah, I'd much rather, just from an entertainment perspective, I'd rather be in the Europa League because we can actually compete.
Yeah. I gotta
'cause
be
it-
honest,
Yeah.
I'm the same as well. Like the best experience of my Celtic fan life was being in Seville at the UEFA Cup final. Like I would take that every single day of the week. And I know everyone goes on about Champions League. Obviously, it's the best competition. That's what you want to do well in. But realistically, we're lucky if we make a last 32. Like we are. Over the moon if we ever get to a quarter final or something like that. And very unlikely that it's ever going to happen. Or do you drop down that level to the Europa League? You're winning your home games comfortably. You're putting in good performances. And the whole
Win a
thing is just
knockout tie.
positive.
Win a knockout tie. That is what we need to do.
True.
Well, and that's so that this is. I think I might have even said this on a prior appearance on here. Is that Bayern Munich game or tie really did a lot of heavy lifting and I think overconfidence in where we were.
Yeah.
Because I went back at the time and analyzed like what was going on at Bayern Munich, and they basically had us wrapped around a weekend fixture against Bayer Leverkusen, and that was the season after they'd lost the league to Leverkusen, and the league was still like right on the edge. So if they won that game on that Saturday, it was pretty much going to be their league. So they did not field their top team against us in either of the two games, and they were game managing. And when that second game had any jeopardy in it after Kuhn scored, they hit the gas and destroyed us. Like they decided, oh boy, this might actually be in jeopardy. And in the last 20 minutes of that game, they just completely annihilated us. So I mean, they only scored to one. That's all they needed to get, but it was like an onslaught. So
I remember.
Yeah. So we're just the gap is just too big in the vast majority. So like the bottom 10 teams in the Champions League now are just like making up numbers. They're not really. Yeah, it's like the World Cup. Like now they throw in the extra to 12 teams or whatever, and it's like they're just there to make money off of. It's not really a competitive thing.
Thankfully, one of them was Scotland, but that's all.
I mean, I would still rather see I would say going into this, like this is going to be our best opportunity to qualify for the Champions League, whatever
for a while,
probably league stage. Let's get into it this year, and then the next few years, I think it's going to be a lot harder to get in there. Then I'm like,
agreed.
all right, yeah, Europa is probably our level, and we can, get in there and compete a little better. Which I mean, but you're right, James. You said like our draw for the Champions League, those times we were in it, was a little favorable. I mean, it was like the group we were in Europa League last year was probably comparable to the Champions League group we were in, outside of, like we did play a couple big teams like Munich and stuff like that. So, but yeah, for me, I would take, and having no grand delusion of what we can accomplish in the Champions League, like get out of the whatever they call it now, the league stage, into a knockout round and get pumped there. I'm good with that. That's probably our level, and then get to Europa and see what happens.
But remember as well, though, the board are spending this money to get into the Champions League. That's what they want, because they want a big piece of that pie.
Mm-hmm.
Where the irony is now, where we're like, well, if we join the Champions League, we're going to get pumped every week, and there's so many different ways to look at it. Yeah.
Well, and it's not a money issue. I mean, LASK is about half our size, like from a commercial footprint perspective.
Yeah.
So we should, they should not be a team that we should fear, for God's sakes, let alone last season.
They shouldn't, but they were a good team last year. I don't know.
I'm not at all. Yeah, I'm not. I'm saying hypothetically. I'm not saying this is the reality. But what I'm saying is it's not. I don't think the board's spending the money to get into the Champions League. I think they're following their.
Well, I think they want that money. I think they want their. Yeah, they
Yeah.
want that big carrot, that golden carrot that's getting dangled all the time. Like, because there isn't, like you saw what Rangers made even when they got to the final. I think we still made more money than they did just from the Champions League, and we never advanced that far that year. So yeah, I think from a board point of view, I think they need that Champions League because that's where the big buck. That's where they build up their bank account. That we all know that is there. So
I mean, I think I tend to agree with this, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you have to be realistic at the same time.
I would 100% agree with that. Like we're the champions of Scotland. We play in the Champions League. I mean, that's the level that you want to be at. This is the thing that drives me nuts, right? Is that we as the Celtic support should have the ambition, and the board should match that ambition, right? Like this is we why not Celtic? Why can't we get further in the Champions League? Like I know that I'm not always the most realistic person as far as what I would choose to want my team to do. But the thing of it is that like that should be the standard. Like Champions League football, if you win in Scotland, you should be in the Champions League, right? And you qualify and you do this, that, and the other. That's where the big money is. That's where the players are. I guess I'm an eternal optimist when it comes to that. Is that like I think that why couldn't Celtic get to the last 8? I'm not saying every year, this, that, and the other, but that's where that ambition should be, because as a global footprint, Celtic is a huge club. And I think that's something that, when you look at it from like a, world footballing perspective, right? Like, big clubs around the world, Celtic's always at the top. Like, why would I want to play in the Europa League? Because I know that's where we are, maybe talent wise, or we're not playing at the upper echelons of world football. But I mean, the Champions League should always be that should be the marker. Like to equate this to American football, right? Like Georgia winning the SEC every year, that's great, man. There's nothing that I love better than winning the SEC. But by God, one of those national championships that was fucking amazing. But that's the reality of it is that, like, if you play in a league where you're gonna have a good chance of winning, if you're playing above that, like you've got to punch above your weight. I mean, otherwise, like what are we doing this for? Just to sell kits? Like I want the ambition of winning the Champions League. Like that should be something as a global footprint, as a Celtic base. We should all want that. I mean, we've done it before. We should do it again. And it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen whatever. But like that's the ambition that we should be striving for. It's that's my 2 cents about it.
No, I'm with you. But I mean, for me, like it becomes like every year I won Champions League, and then the second we drop down to Europa, I'm like, it's a nice consolation prize. I feel like, and I'm that's when I can ready to move on to it. Like,
yeah,
I love the ambition, Chris. Yeah, we're just so fucking far away from that.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying is more so we're going back to being our normal dysfunctional self from last season, being like, coked out of our mind on heroin, completely dysfunctional and comatose, to back to just being dysfunctional.
That's a good time though.
At the end it was, but it's yeah. So I get what you're saying, and I agree with the ambition. It's just under this ownership and with the decision making at the club, there's just no chance of that happening.
Yeah,
it can't happen. There's no pathway to make that progress, which is why I'm saying, and I agree, like in the world that I'd like it to be, we should be in the Champions League every season and, competitive. I don't know about winning it because I think the economics have changed so much.
That's
but
impossible.
yeah, it'd be like Boise State winning the college football championship. Like, it's just probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
They should have the ambition, but it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, that's more so what I'm saying. I'm not defeatist. It's just that given the way that the clubs run, I don't think it's plausible.
Which is kind of why I'm not immediately going to go run by kids, right?
Fair enough.
Because that's like I want the board to match the ambition of the Celtic support, and the Celtic support, let that be your driver of where you want to go as a club, right? Like, I'm not, Sean, to your point about dropping down into the Europa League, I'm with you. That's a great consolation prize. Hey, we're in the Europa League, blah 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 blah. You still get European football. You may get it after Christmas. That's great. Like, I understand that. But it's the continual, we're not even going to attempt it. We're not going to put forth the money to buy the players. We're not going to put forth, whatever we need to do to make this happen to begin with. And that's, then it goes back to like, well, we didn't replace players 3 years ago. And now it's taken this long to build back up to where we've got players that are coming in that are actual quality, that we spend actual money on, and like everybody's like, let's fucking go, right? But deep down, the people that have been here year in, year out are going, well, why did it take this long to get back to this place, right? Like, how did we go from that last little bit at Bayern Munich to now it's 2 years later, and now we're just back to like, maybe we qualify again for the Champions League and get a bite of the big apple where we get a lot of money coming in. I mean, that's what I mean by that ambition.
Yeah,
is that we've got to continually do these things year in, year out, week in, week out. Otherwise, it's just, it's going to be difficult.
I saw the comment from Aaron. I just wanted to say something about it because, again, me being a dick as usual, is the financial reality of where we're at now is we're signing players on a wage bill basis, competing against the kind of the mid to the upper English championship. That's where we're at on a wage bill structure. And now some of that's elective, the way that the club's running the wage bill structure. I mean, it's not as steep as it probably could be. We have too many mediocre middle-aged guys making too much money, right? Which, again, is for the guys, the Americans that follow North American sports, that's been the shift in the last 20 years, is that middle-aged mediocre player has gotten wiped out. They're not there anymore. They get replaced by the cheaper younger people in the analytics, era. So the guys aren't signing for us making big money. They're just not. I mean, we're not competing at even the bottom third of the EPL or even the bottom third of the big five leagues. Even the bottom half of the French division now is as catastrophic as their finances are after they lost their media deal. We can't compete with most of those clubs on wages.
Yeah.
So again, that's just the practical reality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm loving the comments because it's very varied, like on opinion. You got and Chris, you're very eloquent. I love your passion, and like it's awesome. And so, and I agree. I think we should have that ambition, and you kind of wish the club did have that ambition, but I just can't. I don't see it.
I just want to say it's a little something that sometimes, so we need to remember that Celtic are in Scotland. Scotland is not a very attractive league. We get limited amount of TV money coming in. Obviously, Celtic are sponsored by I don't even know what country Dafabet is from. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea, but I presume it's on TV in those countries as well, and that's why they want to put their name on the shirt. I don't think they get that much for it. I think, like, see if Celtic ever joined the Premier League and we actually got a stab at that, and we were in the top 5 or 6, yes, that's when we're then going to be challenging for Champions League finals, etc. We're actually going to be one of the world's top teams. And obviously we want to be there that now. And I love Celtic. I really, really do. But I think sometimes we think we're bigger than we actually are in the whole world scale. Like of football. I'm not talking about being like having fans and all the rest of that stuff. But I talk to so many people over here and they've never even heard of Celtic before. They have no idea about Scottish football, like no clue. And it's even some Union fans as well who are into football, but they just don't see Celtic play because it's not one of the top 4 or 5 leagues in the world. And yes, we want the board to spend more, just buy some quality players, and they finally are. And I know they've completely fucked it up the last 3 years. But I don't know. I'm fine aiming for a Europa League final. As I said, the best experience of my life was getting to a European final, and I got to actually go and experience it. I just want that again. Like, I don't need to aim for I want Celtic to win a Champions League final. Of course I do, but I don't. We're not there. Like, we're so far off it. Like, we're just so far off it. You look at the money the English First Division teams spend. Like, they can offer more wages than we can offer to one of our top earners. Like that's the struggle with being a team in Scotland. If we get like a European Super League or some shit like that, and we actually get invited to that party, then maybe it all becomes different. And because of our fan base, we can like jump up and escalate. But like, you look at Turkey, like how are Turkey spending all this money to buy Salah and the best players in the world, and they all want to go there? And like, what like, is Turkey that much bigger than Scotland? Like, not really. So where's all that money coming from? You know what I mean?
Massive money laundering.
Well, barber shops are just popping up everywhere and just laundering everything. But like, it's all money. Money makes the world go round, and money makes the football world go round. Like it does. Like, just the way it is.
We got a hun in the chat now. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, the discussion on moving Celtic into the EPL, like you said, that changes the dynamic immediately. I think, whether like how much we can compete in everything we do, but I think that's a discussion.
We'd still need new ownership, because we can go to the EPL, give these guys a bunch more money.
I guess
the mismanagement, exactly. They would fuck it up. They would.
We'd make a lot of money in dollars, in pounds, but competing against Liverpool and Arsenal and Man City. I mean, even Chelsea. I mean, come on.
All right. Well, before we move on to the next thing, and we've kind of broached on, I want to talk about like the new signings and some of the kind of names we're been associated with. But let me just play a quick, it's like 4-minute video. Gav, who runs our channel here, he's in Malaysia. He did a little interview with a girl from Sweden who's doing a walk from Helsingborg for hometown, or where Henrik Larsson played, all the way to Glasgow to Celtic Park. As David said before, like she might have to swim a little bit or take a couple ferries. But let me just play this real quick. It's 4 minutes long, and we'll be back when that's over. So hang with us.
Ella, you're planning to walk from Helsingborg, the hometown of Henrik Larsson, all the way to Celtic Park, raising money for the Celtic Foundation. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I decided to do this after a long period of hospitalization and the upcoming sick leave. I've always loved Celtic, and it all started out with Henrik Larsson. As other Swedish Celtic supporters, I decided to make this into a challenge and walk to Glasgow for the Celtic Foundation, because Celtic has done so much for me during my life, and I just felt like I wanted to give back something to a club that has done so much for me. And so I will walk from the statue of Henrik Larsson in Helsingborg, Sweden, take the ferry over to Denmark, down south through Denmark, ferry to Germany, across western Germany through Hamburg and Bremen, for example, across the Dutch border, Amsterdam, ferry from Amsterdam to Newcastle, up north through England, and then end in Glasgow at Celtic Park.
At the statue of Brother Wolf, that's your end point. And I understand you're going to be sleeping under the stars a little bit on the journey.
Yeah.
So to reflect the work of the foundation and for the plight of homelessness.
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand you're interested to hear from any Celtic fans who are along this route, who would be interested in meeting up with you or putting you up for the night. And if anyone lives along that green line at any part of it, I know there's a couple of CSCs along the way. So get in touch if you can possibly lend a hand in that way. Obviously, the main point of this is for charity. So let's go back to the donation page, and you can see there, target of 10,000, currently raised a little over 1,000. So this is an appeal. If you can afford it and you want to make a donation to the Celtic Foundation, let's do it, and give Ella here a little bit of encouragement on this incredible journey. Ella, the very best of luck. It's fantastic. It starts very soon.
It starts very, very soon, in about 2 weeks now. And I will do my absolute best to raise as much possible for the Celtic Foundation, really. I don't think people in Sweden, charity isn't the same thing in Sweden as it is in Scotland. I don't think we understand how vital the work of Celtic Foundation is for the community. It's massive. So I want to contribute to that in the best possible way. And also thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast. It means a lot. I'm so happy that people seem to be interested in this project, because I've been alone with this for such a long time, and I'm so happy.
You'll never walk alone, as they say, Ella. So you can follow Ella's journey, as it says here on Instagram, at Ella Stensdotter from the 25th of August. And you plan for how long? What date is it you hope to arrive at Celtic Park?
It's the 16th of October. It's the game before. It's the day before Hearts at home.
Oh, very appropriate.
Yeah.
You're showing great heart on this journey. Ella, very best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, so if you can, and I'll try and throw it up on our social media, the link to the page to donate. Like I said, that's something I wish I could do. I like to think that I can do a long walk, and I've done 18 miles through New York City a couple times, but this is a whole nother level that Ella's doing. So good luck to her, and if you can, like I said, throw a donation on her page, because Celtic Foundation does great work. I know I've done a bunch of their events over the years, whether it's walks in New York or going to the dinners in New York, and we did the one in South Bend. Me and Chris went to that one. So like at those events, you kind of get to see some of the work that they do, and it's amazing. So anything you can contribute would be amazing. So yeah, so thanks for checking that out. Thanks to Gab for sending that to us.
Maybe they could send some money over to Ibrox, because they seem to have a hard time getting money for players right now. So seems like a good little charitable foundation over there. Maybe could do with a little check or two. So
yeah, I booted the one Hun out of the chat because he had some kind of snide comment about the video. So fuck that guy. But yeah, so back to the Celtic stuff. And we talked about, we've kind of broached some of the stuff a little bit. I just want to talk about the new signings. And we talked about who, obviously, but like today, for once, like, and I was joking with Chris beforehand, like I feel like we always get the signing a day after me and Chris are on. So it's us like bitching about not having a signing. And then I'm like, do you think they're going to do this before? And they actually finally did. So it was good to see that Hassan signing come in today. So I know, like I was listening to you guys this morning, James, you and Alan, but like, did you get a chance to do a little analysis on Hassan and what, like how do you see him fitting into the Celtic side?
Yeah, he's really, really fast, which is good news. We needed to upgrade our raw speed, I think. So that's positive. He loves to take defenders on. He loves to run with the ball, to use that speed. His ability to create, because of how athletic he is definitely present, and I think that will be a strong suit. And I think even, particularly against teams in Europe, for example, I think he'll be vital to help us get up the pitch. And I think that the reason that he's kind of I was joking earlier about middle-aged players. In this era, if you're 24, 25 and you're a winger, you're middle-aged. You're not young anymore. Young is 19, 20 for a winger. And so I think the reason that he's coming to Celtic is because he's got some decision-making issues. He's a bit erratic. I think he's probably, and I don't mean this in a denigrating way, so don't throw up in your mouth when I say this, but directionally, he's probably like Mvuka, just a lot more skillful, if that makes sense. All right. So Mvuka was, we barely got.
We don't even know what Mvuka was like because we never even saw him.
Well, that's fair enough. But I looked at him a lot, and so Mvuka's actually a really fast guy. He played at Bodo Glimt. Like, we didn't just pick that guy out of the clouds. I wasn't particularly a fan of the loan signing, but he has attributes that would make people think he can do something, and he's actually Mvuka's actually a pretty good presser and counter presser, which the jury's out on that for Hassan as far as what his motor is to defend. So that's the upside, is he is different level. Like, he's Kuhn speed level, which we've been missing. He's got the skill, the technical ability to pass the ball and cross the ball. Like, he's a skillful player. It's just, I'm not sure about the defending, and his decision-making can be, I think there's going to be games where the support's going to be going, what the F was he thinking? Because he'll take shots from crazy angles when guys are open. You know what I mean? Like, just stuff that can be frustrating. So he could be a frustrating experience, but there's going to be a lot of good too. So I think that's, and people always say wingers are temperamental, whatever you say, inconsistent. But I think he's probably even more so in that regard. So it'll be a bit of a roller coaster ride, I think. But as the old saying goes, you can't teach speed, and that's if you've got technical ability and that level of speed. It's just it's for people that aren't chronically online and don't follow the other data nerds or analytics nerds. This guy playing on a horrible Real Oviedo team on number of like
Say that.
carries with the ball and dribbling with the ball was up with Yamal, Nico
Yeah.
Williams, Mbappe. Like that's how
Yeah.
fast this guy is and how much he runs with the ball. So that's going to be a whole thing. Yeah, Vinny Jr. So that alone is different. It's just, if he was a genius at decision making, he wouldn't be coming to us for 8 million or whatever he is. He'd be, he'd be going.
This is actually a massive gamble for Celtic. I feel as though they haven't took a gamble on a guy like this for a while. Just the fact that he's coming from a team, as you said, who were Real Oviedo were not a good team last season. They were bottom of the league. They weren't attacking that much. He was probably asked to do a more defensive role more often than he wanted to do. So him coming into a team that is always on the front foot is like a completely different mind change for him as well. I think he got to play that role more so for Egypt because it was very open, and Egypt were like, "We're here, we're going to attack, and we're going to try and do something."
Yeah.
So I think him coming now playing for Celtic, who are expected to attack. He's either going to love it and excel and become potentially one of the best Celtic signings we've had in a long time, which I actually think that's got a very good chance of happening. Or it just doesn't jive and he's not used to playing on the front foot and it ends up in a disaster. But I actually think I think he could be potentially one of the best players we've signed in a long time. So.
I don't discount that. I think there are some unknowns because he hasn't played in this kind of an environment. My base case is that we'll get both of those. There will be periods where we're like, this is the best signing we've ever had.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a week or two where we're like, holy shit, this guy is Mvuka.
Yeah.
He doesn't defend. He doesn't track back. And that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, that'll be a change because seemingly he would replace Yang, who that probably is one of his strengths that he does track back more. And not as, decent at taking on a guy, but he's not in that final third. He seems to fail more than succeed. But yeah, he does have that more work, maybe not Dyson level of tracking back, but he does.
This is also why I'm tapping the brakes personally, I'm analyzing what's going on with the team. I think there was enough parts of the game at Dundee against Dundee at home and then at Kilmarnock, even though they were both relatively comfortable games, they're both bad teams. And there were, material parts of those games where they were very comfortable in possession and our press and counter press weren't anywhere near what they have been. That's not a strength of Nygren. That's not a strength of who. Duran's better, but if we're shifting him out wide in the press, that's different than what he did in the preseason when he was causing chaos centrally, which was what Maeda was so good at, obviously. And the midfield's still not been addressed in that regard. So, because that's the transitions. That's what, that's why the chronic 15-year legacy or the odyssey, I should say, in Europe is that we get to that certain level and we really struggle in transition. Teams that can, hit us on the break and in transition. So that's why I'm still we haven't addressed those issues yet. I'm hoping we still will. And Lask is going to test that, by the way. So
yeah,
we'll get our first actual test about that in a week.
But I'll throw this to you, Chris. In terms of bringing Hassan in, Duran, and then throwing it on top of what we have, the attack is starting to look a lot stronger. We have proper striker and who Duran as playing on the wing, and then you can throw him in as striker. Obviously, that's what he did at Karabakh. Osmond, who you haven't seen much of him, but when he played last year was in the few moments you did see him, he was very dangerous and particularly throw back to that Hearts game, he was massively important in the Hearts game to win us the title, and then throw in those spots on the wing. And now you're like talking where James Forrest is your like third winger, and it's our attacking options are looking a lot stronger, and there's a lot more depth. Like, so, I mean, do you feel like, how do you feel in terms of the attack with that?
I mean, it's impossible not to be excited about it. I mean, I haven't seen as much from Hassan other than probably most of the Egypt matches. I don't really watch La Liga that much, but no, I think having the depth that we have at those attacking positions, the signings that we've now had, Hassan's in the door today, and then Duran. I mean, that you're talking about, like, some quick players, some players that have, raw ability, raw speed. They if you can get them to gel together, I mean, that's going to be a very difficult front three. That's got depth in there. I mean, you've got Yang in there. You've got Jota that's still to come back. You've got Yang. I like all of these. All of these players with the depth that we have, man, like that's going to be scary.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if there's more to come. I tend to think hopefully now they focus more on the midfield and
hope so.
Back, like those right back, left back positions. I do think Kieran Tierney is going to need probably a backup, but
apparently there's a young 18-year-old from Chelsea.
Yeah, I was going to mention him.
Emanalo. He was apparently at Celtic Park today, and there is photographs confirming that he was there. So he was definitely there for talks. Would it make sense to announce him before the Champions League like name drops? Yeah, then yes, it probably would make sense. I imagine they're going to announce that tomorrow. And Sky Sports and everything was announcing that Bauer was a done deal this morning, and he's going to do the medical tomorrow and then get announced tomorrow as well. So there could easily be another two signings tomorrow. I don't even know how to react anymore. Like, it's like, well, what do we do? Like, all this positivity and these signings, like, what even is this? This is like, I think I'm having flashbacks to years ago.
Go ahead, Chris.
I think the difference is that if nobody leaves, right? If Arne Ingels is like, no, I'm at Celtic this season, right? Or AJ, it just comes out and just like, no, this is my team, and then you still bring these other players in. I mean, we're at a different level at that point, where you've retained Ingles, Nygren, AJ in a window that you should have lost all three of them.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I think there has to be something to be said for the players if they stay. I mean, obviously they could walk out the door tomorrow and everybody's like, oh shit, what are we going to do? But if we retain those guys and still bring in players, I mean, that's attractive. You might get me to buy a kid at that point.
Is that the proper ambition?
yeah, that's at least better ambition.
Yeah, and like, like David, you said, I mean, all signs point to the Mika Bauer will be announced tomorrow.
Surely, has to be done.
It has to be, right? I mean, all the big names, and even like I think Sky Sports were saying that there's a deal for like whatever 6.8 million for him. So that seems like a done deal. And obviously you would think it would be announced before we have to, lock in our European side.
Yeah.
And then
I think Hatate, you'll find, will probably leave in the next few days. I do think he's I think Celtic have actually probably learned don't sell someone until you have a replacement. After the centre forward debacle, where they literally just got dragged for that for the whole season, I'd like to think they learned from that. So yeah, I do think Hatate will leave as soon as that deal goes through. So
I think so too. I do think I can't see how Engels stays at this point.
No.
That seems impossible. But I mean, I would love to see it happen, but I don't see any way where that happens.
25 million.
Yeah, there's
hell. You gotta take that shit.
Well, I think he's down to 2 years on his contract too. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celtic. I guarantee you, when Celtic sign a player, they say, "Come to us for 3 years, come to us for 2, extend your contract for another few, stay 1 more year, let us make some extra money. We'll give you some extra money in that last year, and then we'll sell you. Like I will sell you down to England. This is how you make it to the English Premier League." I guarantee you that's part of Celtic's spiel to get players to come. Like Hassan. Oh, your idol Salah made his name in the Premier League or came back to the Premier League. Come up to us for a few seasons, and then you can make that move to England. I guarantee you that's what Celtic use to sell players. As sad as it is, but they will.
Well, but the problem is we've reneged on that regularly.
Yeah.
True. Well, like, you ain't going fucking nowhere, you little bastard. You're fucking
Right. So that when you position yourself in the marketplace as a selling club, and you tell players, "Fuck you, you're staying no matter what." I agree. We need to get back to selling guys when we should, and Engels should absolutely go this window.
Yeah.
And as much as I don't want him to, from his own career sake, given his age. And the other thing to remember is, guys like Alistair Johnston have not made FU money in his career.
Yeah.
Like, he's a 27, I think maybe 28-year-old guy coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, I don't have to work the rest of my life money. He's obviously made good money for the average person, but for him to make 10 million pounds over the next 3-4 years in England,
he could get 90 grand down in England every week. Easy.
Yep. So that's
we couldn't pay him that.
That's taking care of his parents, his kids, his grandkids. Like,
yeah.
So it's hard to tell a guy who's already been there and busted his gut for 3 seasons. You can do that and take care of your family for the next 2 generations. Or we know we told you could leave after 2 or 3 seasons, but we're going to force you to stay 1 more.
Yeah.
You might not be happy about that, is what I'm saying.
And then we're going to sell you to Ipswich, where you're going to disappear and do fuck all.
Right.
Not naming any names.
No, there'll be no Dies in Maeda besmirching on this show. Yeah, I mean, that's a guy who, like, and even that, I mean, you go back to, like, Engels last January, like, if we were offered 25 million from Nottingham Forest, and I think I said it at the time, like, we could not accept, we couldn't sell him at the time because we were so short.
I think the board didn't dare sell him. I don't think it wasn't that they didn't want to take it.
No, I'm sure they did. But
there literally would have been riots. There would have been riots if he'd got sold at the last minute and hadn't been replaced. There actually would have been riots.
And there's no way they were prepared to replace him either.
Right.
So they would have sold him with no replacement.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have any replacement lined up because they didn't have a scout. They didn't have anybody out. They didn't know who the manager was going to be. They didn't know what type of player they wanted to replace him with. Like, there was just so many what ifs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's so another name that I'm not as worried as I am about AJ, but would it be shocking if someone came in and bid for Nygren?
No.
Right?
No,
Yeah,
but
not
I think
now,
like a
but-
Tottenham Hotspur or somebody like that could easily come in for him and think £10 million on a player like him is a steal for me. Would Celtic sell him for 10 million? I don't know.
Even
But
15, 20. I mean, again.
Yeah, I mean, if you got 15 or 20, it'd be hard to turn it down, considering what they paid for him.
Right.
But I mean, Sean, like I am a proponent for what Nygren does, and I think in a better team with better players, I think Nygren becomes an even better player. I really do. His first touch is the best at the clubs, like bar none.
I mean, so far it's showing that. I mean, 2 games is a small sample, but like he has.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, and he's trained before the first game. He trained like 3 or 4 days, and he just came back and went, "I'll just score the winner." That's just what I do. And like he he is a potentially world-class player. He is. He really is.
Yeah, you guys miss Chris and James. The best interaction ever is at the plow watching Declan and David.
Get it fucking up, you Declan. Negrin's fucking player of the season. Get up, you.
Like
Declan, one of the Negrin haters. There's plenty of them out there.
Any Negrin fuck up is Declan's up in his face, and Negrin goal.
He's like, oh.
It's funny to watch, but
player of the season. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we need to get Declan on again. Last time he was on, we had technical problems, so it'll be interesting to have the Negrin debate with you guys again on.
Let's have a Negrin night.
Negrin night.
But the one name, and you saw it, I don't know if it was January or last summer, the other guy from Canada who plays in Croatia, Stigor, popped up today. Yes, I think it was today. More.
Yeah.
You saw that, and you hadn't seen his name come up linked to Celtic. So I don't know. Not all the names. Those names that seem to keep popping up. I mean, it takes a while to get the signing over the line. But I think the more and more you hear those names tied with Celtic, it seems like it's legitimate. So I don't know, Chris. Do you know anything about him? Like,
I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know we were tied on that. He seems like a versatile kind of guy. Like James, how about you? Have you done any deeper dive?
I did look at him because he was kind of a prototypical Wilfred Nancy system guy.
Oh,
that's what it was. Yeah, I remember that it was January. Like,
yep, because he's a hybrid kind of right back defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
So yeah, he like Negrin. I know this is not popular amongst a lot of people, but like Negrin, another Paul Tisdale special. So yes, the evil Paul Tisdale that is the devil from last season, the scapegoat. So yeah, he's a good player. He's flexible. He could play across probably, reasonably 3 or 4 positions. And to me, he's like a glue guy. Like I don't think he's anyone that's going to do anything that's really all that jaw dropping. He's just very consistent. He's like one of those guys, 7 out of 10, and you can put him in different spots and different roles, and you're going to get a 6, 7, 7. And I think in a squad, particularly at a club like Celtic, with the fixture congestion and the attritional nature of a league campaign and a season, really, that guys like that are really valuable. So yeah, I think. What is he somebody I'd want to play next to Cal McGregor all the time? But with Bauer, who I think's more of a McGregor, not replacement, but more like McGregor as a tempo setter than a box to box or a 10. I think Seager would offer something else. The one I've looked at that I'm just not getting is Ganitis. I don't understand what the thinking would be about Ganitis, but I'm going to put an analysis out on him this week, maybe. But yeah, Seager, I've been on board with every signing so far. Most of the rumored signings, I've been like, oh, okay, I see it. Seager is one of those. Ganitis not. I have no clue what they're thinking with Ganitis. Doesn't mean that there's not a theory, a good thought behind it. It's just I haven't come up with it yet.
Could it be as simple as just cash? Could they just be thinking? Could they just be thinking we spend 11 million on this guy, bring him in, put him in a successful team for 2 seasons, and then we can sell him for 25 million? I think sometimes with Celtic it's as simple as that.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Because I don't see how he fits the way we play. So he seems to me a less mobile Engels.
Okay.
In the sense that, to me, what's made Engels a financial success, it looks like he's going to be, is because he runs all over the pitch.
Yeah, box to box. Yeah.
He's got an elite motor. He's not
Yeah.
the fastest guy, but he's constantly running at good pace.
Yeah.
And that, particularly in England, is worth a lot.
Yeah.
Less so for us. And this guy doesn't even have that. Like I said, I'm not even sure. He doesn't seem to have that anyway. He's big. He's 6'2". That's pretty much the other thing. But he's not even that good in the air. So it's like,
Maybe we need to dumb down, because Celtic scouting is like they don't have a chief scout or whatever. Maybe they're literally just looking for a big guy like that. That was their only.
Yeah, well, I don't discount
a big
that
guy in midfield.
There's still that kind of old school thinking of you need a big physical defensive midfielder.
Martin O'Neill probably went, get me a big guy in the midfield. That's all I want. Just a big guy there. That's all.
Yeah, and in fairness, like they do have Mark Cooper, who's a scout, ex-scout. I think he's big in the recruitment area now. James Bell Walker came in, I think, in January. He came from Chelsea. He was at Chelsea for 10 years. That's why I'm not surprised to see this young kid from under 21 Chelsea being pipelined maybe at left back. And I think the club's using some outside third-party AI software to help filter names and stuff
Lord.
now.
I think Michael Nicholson runs on AI, to be honest.
Yeah. So again, it's not like we're not bereft of tools or people that are working hard. It's always been about getting it from here to there.
Yeah.
Talent I mean, I remember last summer, again, during that early Tisdale part of the window when we got Nygren and the little group of, I think it was 2 or 3 Japanese players for pennies. Like they were all really cheap. Is that we were rumored with Angelo, who played at the World Cup at the wing, who's now at Sunderland. And there was another winger who is also playing in the Premier League now. And they were both rumored at 7, 8, 9 million, which is what we're spending on. So talent identification has not always been the problem. It's been converting talent identification to getting deals done. That's been...
We do seem to struggle with that. I mean,
wow,
slow.
Yeah,
slow as can be.
A lot of reasons.
Where does Yang fit in? I don't know. I think Yang is going to be a backup, and Forrest is going to be a backup, and I think
depth.
Like I said, depth.
We need depth. Yeah.
And it's a good guy to have. And as you've seen, we've had injuries. And we'll continue to have that, I'm sure. I mean, everybody does.
Yang and Forrest are players that when you see them in the starting 11, you're fine with it because you'll get a hard working 60 minutes out of them. They're not going to last longer than that. They'll both get taken off, but you're fine with them giving you a good 60 minutes. And there's plenty of other players in the team who will push the team on and actually.
Right.
Probably outshine them, but they're like Ralston. Like you're fine with them being on the bench, but you just don't want them to start all the time. But you're fine with them because nobody's going to play 60 games a season nowadays. McGregor did it over a couple of years, and then look at him last year.
59.5. He only does 59.5 now.
59.5. But last season, McGregor was like a broken man at the end of the season. Like he was just tired, like he just needed some rest. I actually thought McGregor the last 2 games has looked a lot more sprightly and a lot more like himself compared to the end of last season.
Yeah.
I think he needed that rest.
First week, I thought he was man of the match for me. And then I think this week.
Yeah, the first game, definitely. He was,
Angles just did everything, and McGregor just got to chill almost. But he was still solid. And those are the kind of games probably that a guy like McGregor needs, where he's not having to cover all that ground. But saying that, it makes me more sad to see Angles go. So, which I'm sure is going to happen. So, last thing to talk about is, I guess, previewing the upcoming week, because we'll be back Wednesday next week. So we got 2 games before then. So it'll be fun again next week. Next Wednesday night we'll have post Europa League versus LASK, which I remember last year we did the same thing. We had post Champions League qualifiers. We did first Kairat last year, and it was two of the most depressing weeks you have ever seen on the year. So hopefully it's a little better. But in terms of this weekend, like, so we got Dundee United in the League Cup.
It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah,
Canadice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough game. I know we do well up there against them, but this is one of those games where we're going into it positively with lots of expectations, and we all know that's when we tend to get brought down a peg or two. So, but I'm obviously got to be confident that the players are playing well and we can outplay them. And but I think it's going to be a tough game. Dundee United have got a decent team, I think. Obviously showed in the first game against whose name will not be mentioned, but they played really well again in that first game. So
yeah, and I think, like you said, I forget who said it, but like if you watch the game film against Killy, like I think teams are going to tend to probably not try to play as much football against us as they did, as Killy tried to do. Dundee United is probably a little better side too, so you'll see a little bit more of a parking the bus kind of thing. I think maybe not full on, but I don't know.
I actually think this season you're going to see a lot more attack. So I watched the game at the weekend there. It was St. Johnstone against St. Mirren. And every single, whenever there was a goal kick for each team, they had their defenders in the box, they played the ball short, and they tried to play football, and they tried to play the ball out. And I think that's a massive change from years gone by in the SPFL, because you would ever watch another game and of like just like St. Johnstone, St. Mirren a couple of years ago, they would have just punted that ball up long, up to the tall centre forward. He would have tried to flick it down. But teams are actually trying to play football. And even Kilmarnock, I know they got absolutely pumped against us. But I watched they played St. Johnstone in the first game and got beat 4-3. Yes, they scored a couple of goals. But again, defensively, they were wide open. But I think it's actually good for Scottish football to see, like, even the smaller teams trying to play football. Because years ago, it was just all long ball, long ball, long ball. And you're not, like, no one wants to watch a league that's like that. Like, if we had games that were 4-3 and all that stuff, like Dundee United was like 3-2, that's when you then get other countries wanting to come and watch the games because they're entertaining, because you're playing good football, and you get more money brought into the league, and then the money gets distributed to the clubs, and the whole country evolves from that. And I think it's a good thing that the other clubs are playing football. So hopefully against Celtic they keep trying to play it, and they don't all do like, oh, let's get 4 buses out and park them along the byline. You know what I mean? Like, I hope teams come and try and attack us. I do. I think that's good for the game. It's good for us as well, because we can fucking annihilate them.
It's definitely a better watch. Like,
it is. Look, it is. Like, I genuinely, the game, the St. Johnstone St. Mirren game, I think it finished like 1-0. But I swear to God, it could have been like 5 each. It was a really interesting game to watch. And yeah, I hope there's a little change and everyone's actually going to start and try and play football now. So as opposed to the defensive stuff.
Yeah. Chris, do you think Celtic is Martin O'Neill back this week? I haven't heard that.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, is Martin O'Neill, Sean Maloney going to throw out a kind of rest a few guys because of the League Cup? Do you see? I don't know. Full strength side like we've seen. Maybe get Hassan some action. I don't know.
I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be full blown. Here's the starting 11. Go out there, do your job, and move on in the League Cup. I don't think that whether Martin's back or not. I think that we're going to go into this week still thinking of what's going to happen on Wednesday. Like, you're going to get people rested that need to get rested. You're going to get, but more than anything, like, you want to get people minutes together. You want them playing together. You want them passing the ball. Doing all the things that are going to make the players gel as a squad. I think we'll be full strength on Sunday.
Agreed. James, how about you? Do you think full strength lineup on Saturday?
Probably mostly full strength. It wouldn't surprise me if AJ gets rested because he came off. So, that's a quick turnaround for a guy if he had some kind of, especially with his muscle injury problem last season. So that wouldn't surprise me. And I think it'll be interesting with what's going on with Engels. So, again, if the idea is to get through the qualifiers, then maybe you rest him too. I could see a justification, particularly because if Bauer comes in, he's been through a full preseason, it looks like, I think, at Paderborn. So, there'll be at least some numbers there to help plug some gaps. So that those two wouldn't surprise me. But other than that, yeah, I expect you could see, because Scales didn't get to play because of the suspensions, it wouldn't shock me if he comes in for Trusty just to get him some game time. That kind of thing, or for Carter Vickers, because again, he's coming off a long-term injury, so maybe you get the dreaded Trusty on the right, Scales on the left, back too. But yeah, generally, other than those, I would expect full strength.
It's funny, the whole night, like we have not. I think that's the first time Carter Vickers got mentioned, and I do think it's massive that he's back. I don't. So it's funny that none of us have brought him up at all night. But I still think he's so important to it just solidifying the defense, whether it's going to be Scales or Trusty next to him. And I don't know who you guys think. I'm more, I think, a Trusty guy next to Carter Vickers, but
I think Carter Vickers is still a little bit rusty right now. And you kind of saw as the games went on that he kind of came more into it. And I think he needs another 1 or 2 games, but yeah, he's a game changer for you. Like, he literally stops goals himself. Like, he is a proper defender. And I think we're a hell of a better team when he's fit. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that'll be a discussion for another day. Trying to keep it under 2 hours these days. Last thing. So Lask on Wednesday night, Wednesday afternoon for us. So again, the challenge of us over here watching a 3:00 kickoff. I'll be working and probably just watching on my double screening while I'm working and watching it on my computer and not getting any work done. But like Chris, I don't know, how do you think that one's going to go? After last year, my fear of Europe is to the extreme. I can't go through another year like Kyrat, like that. That week, those 2 games over that week was just brutal.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this, right? So, as many European campaigns that I've seen come to an end with Kyrat Almighty, or what was the other one that we lost to a good bit? It's like 2013, 2014.
Shitty United.
Yeah, that's him.
There's like 5 or 6 different ones. So.
Yeah,
So,
take your pick.
I just, I hope for the best and hope that we get through. I think we're better set up this year than we have been in several seasons, to be honest. So I'm expecting that we'll put in a performance and get a result, but I mean, until you see it happen for the first one, you don't really know what to expect for the rest of them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. 2-0 Celtic, as far as I'm concerned.
As always.
Well,
So I guess let's finish up with predictions. So I'll go to you, James. Give me a prediction for the weekend and then for the first leg of LASK. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down this season.
All right, weekend. We'll win 2-1. I don't see too many clean sheets in our future. For now, anyway, until we get through the window and hopefully address some things. But I'm nervous about LASK. I cheated. We recorded a segment with Tom Baumgartner, who runs one of the people that runs the Other Bundesliga podcast. We haven't released it yet. It'll come out sometime later this week or early next week. But they're kind of like a hybrid between Sturm Graz and Midtjylland. I in looking at it, so they're kind of big physical play, very vertical, direct. They mix up their play, and they're not all that bothered having the ball, so they're very good in transition and counterattacking, which I think are all kind of areas that we're vulnerable to right now in our transition period as the squad turns over. So yeah, I'll say 2-1 for that one as well at home. I'll be optimistic. Okay. But again, I think we're going to concede. I think they're good enough that they'll score.
Chris, give me the weekend prediction for Dundee United. 2-0?
3.
3-0. Oh, shit.
Who?
I think that's the first time I've ever heard a non-2-0.
Yeah.
Hat-trick? Who hat-trick?
Yeah.
David, are you going to the Plow on the weekend?
Not sure yet. I don't know. I mean, I do love a Saturday afternoon kickoff because that means you can have a whole day in Philly, and that's a good time. So
yeah, I might be down there. My wife might be taking my kid up to school, so I might be free to have a whole day out. So
so you're coming out to play? All right,
but give me a prediction for this weekend and for Wednesday.
I mean, and in the most Celtic way possible, we're obviously all like so upbeat. Yes, we fucking got this. Here we go. We're gonna win the fucking quadruple.
We're knocked out of League Cup.
I'm not gonna go there. I wouldn't be surprised. I think we'll go through, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to extra time, and then we score in extra time. So, obviously, I hope we pump them senseless, but I don't know. I think they're. I know. I'm gonna go for an extra time win. I'm gonna go 2-1 in extra time.
Okay, a lot of 2-1s. How about LASK on Wednesday? That's the big one for me. Like I said, I won't. It's not that I won't care if we get pumped out of the League Cup, but
I think I'll take a 0-0. I have a funny feeling they're gonna try something like a different formation. I feel as though Martin O'Neill maybe this season is maybe wanting to try a few things that he didn't dare try last year because he was up against it last year. It was like, you need to save us. But right now they've got a little bit of leeway that they can try a few things. Maybe they try 2 forwards up front. I mean, it's possible. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely possible, but would they try it in a cup game away at Tannadice? Probably not. I think you're going to see the usual. Anyone who's fit is going to play. As simple as that.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll see the same. If everyone's fit, the other 2 lineups, that's who you're going to see play. Start this game. Yep.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the beach pitch that we played on last time we played them.
No.
Last year, but yeah, that was brutal.
That was actually just all the heroin from Dundee that was just lying on the pitch. So. And I can say that because I was born in Dundee. So before anyone gets mad, I was a heroin baby. Calm down, okay? Just
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go 3-0 this weekend on Saturday,
Nice.
and then 2-1 against Lask. I'm gonna go with James on that one, but yeah, and then a nervous next week, following week. So I know we talked about like the importance of whatever. Is it getting into the Champions League group stage or league stage, whatever they call it these days, or making a Europa League run that we're probably more equipped to do. But like I think this season, I think it's important that we get into the Champions League, and then beyond that, we'll see what happens. But I think we'll wrap it up there. We hit 2 hours again, so
Good stuff.
we're trying to keep we're trying to stay away from the 3-hour shows. They're just too much. But at least we had our little the 4-minute video break. It's helpful.
Slash toilet break.
refill your drinks. It's nice. I'm gonna have to tell Gab to give us some more of these videos to play during it. But yeah. But yeah, so thanks, James and David. Last
Yes,
second.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I mean, James, I texted you today about coming on. So again, we're scrounging last second to find people, but you guys are great, and like it's always fun talking with you guys. And the comments were all like the chat was phenomenal tonight. A lot of the usuals, and then a couple of guys we've had on with us, like Graham was in there, Bobby, Jimmy Vinecourt. So it's good to see some of the guys we've had on with us in over the last year. So if you can, give a like and subscribe to the channel, help you guys find us. And we'll be back next Wednesday. And me and Chris will try to get together earlier than to try and find our guests this week rather than wait until the last second. Makes it a lot easier on us. It was so nice during the summer. Like there was weeks where we had like 3-4 weeks ahead planned, which was just not like us the way we on here.
Seat of the pants.
Yeah, we fly by the seat of our pants, definitely. But yeah, so again, thanks guys, and like I said, we'll be back next week, same time, 8 o'clock East Coast US time. And thanks, James, David, and I'll talk to you next week. Chris, cheers.
Check y'all out.